Well, thank you so much for that weather update, Justin. And for decades, Lansing has found a way to honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the largest luncheon across the nation. And this Monday, many of us will gather to do the same thing again to mark 40 years of that luncheon. And here to explain how is Elaine Hardy. How are you this afternoon?
I am doing so well, Rochelle. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to be able to share details about the luncheon and talk about Dr. King and his legacy.
Absolutely, and I echo that same sentiment as well. I've got my ticket. I will be there on Monday.
Awesome.
But first, I want to start off by asking you, what does Dr. King's legacy mean to you, especially as the chair of this commission? Why do you hold this close to your heart?
So, you know, it's interesting that you would start off with the essay question. I distill Dr. King's legacy down to two things. He provided a blueprint, a roadmap for us to ensure that we understood that nonviolence can create radical change. And where I carry his legacy is in the hope that he gave to all of us Americans, particularly when he stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and he uttered those immortal words now of "I have a dream." His dream really was an audacious one because he talked about an America that didn't exist, but through nonviolent social change, we now are reaping the benefit of his hope and are carrying the legacy of freedom that he gave to all of us.
Absolutely. And when you speak of those words, I have a dream, that's actually this year's theme. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Why did you and the committee decide specifically on this tagline?
So each year, the commission decides on a theme. And our hope is that it really kind of speaks to the mood of the nation and talks about what the commission is holding in its heart dear at that moment. And freedom really is a resounding hope that we all have. And Dr. King was a master at reminding America of its promises to its citizens. And so when I hear those words echoed from our Constitution in that speech, it just reminds me again of the audaciousness of his hope, of the beauty and power of his dream, and how we are the recipients of that legacy and that dream.
That's right. All of us are really carrying his legacy as we walk in our daily lives. And one person who is doing that is Dr. Bernard LaFayette Jr. Now, there is no way to sum up all it is that he has done, but he is the keynote speaker this year. Talk to us a little bit about what we'll hear from him and who he is as well.
So we have a really super surprise because Dr. Bernard LaFayette is going to be here, but he's going to be joined by our Lieutenant Governor, Garland Gilchrist, and they're going to sit at a fireside chat and talk. But, you know, one of the things that I share with people as we talk about the work that the commission has done over the last 4 decades is we've really centered on bringing people who were sentinel in the movement to the Lansing community. And Dr. Bernard LaFayette will not disappoint. He was present for every seminal movement in civil rights from 1968 until he said his last goodbye to Dr. King the day he was assassinated. So he was there for the Montgomery March. He was a freedom rider. He integrated the Nashville lunch counters. He was at Bloody Sunday. He was at the March on Washington. And it's just an amazing civil rights career, and one that I hope that we are able to pay the correct honor and respect to when he's here.
Absolutely, and we most certainly will. And you guys are actually instilling that in the next generation as well. This brunch also allows you guys to give out a lot of different scholarships to students as well. Talk to us about the recipients.
So part of the reason why we do the essay and scholarship is exactly what you just said, Rochelle, is that we don't want the dream of Dr. King's legacy to be lost. And in order for us to carry that legacy forward to the next generation, we tried to find a way to do that, and it was through our essay and scholarship contest. So we asked them to write about our theme, and we have students from across the region who participate in the essay and scholarship contest, and our winners are going to be announced at the Day of Celebration Luncheon. I'm super excited.
That is awesome. Well, we are so excited to see this all happen on Monday.
Me too.
Of course, we're going to have more coverage of that too as well in our newsroom. But also, just tell us really quickly, how can we all continue Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy, not just on his birthday, but every day?
I believe that we carry that legacy with us everywhere we go. And it is the ability for us to speak up for those who don't have a voice and remember that we cannot be free if any one of us is unfree.
That is right. Well, thank you so much, Ms.
Thank
Hardy,
you.
for joining us in Studio 10 and for all the work that you're doing. And stay tuned. We've got more Studio 10 after the break. We'll be right back.